Hi, beautiful soul, and welcome to the training today. I am so excited to be here sharing all the tools and so grateful that you're here. This is called Free and Fulfilled. We're going to talk about how to transform your life and step into your emotional freedom. I'm Vero, I'm a life coach, and my business is called Evolve with Vero. So, who is this for? Are you having trouble regulating your emotions? Do you feel like your reactions are not usually the best reactions? You get easily triggered, you snap at other people, lose patience very quickly, especially with your loved ones and your closest ones. You harm yourself with unhealthy coping mechanisms such as binge eating, emotional eating, watching endlessly and binging TV shows, or even retail therapy, any harming mechanism, basically. You lack of self-confidence. You don't believe that you deserve all the great things and your dreams to come true. You don't think you're worthy or valuable. You struggle with anxiety, depression, stress. You hold grudges very easily. You feel like everything happens to you all the time. You feel overwhelmed and burnt out from the life that you're living. And you want to own your true, authentic self. You want to voice your needs and learn to say no without feeling guilty and setting those boundaries. And while you do that, you want to learn to communicate effectively so that people don't get defensive while you do this and say no and voice your needs. And that's a skill that you can learn. You desire to break free from your unhealthy cycles and patterns that you basically were ingrained in your household and you learned in your early life, in your culture, in your class, with your classmates, your parents, your brothers and sisters. You want to feel happy, fulfilled, and have inner peace once and for all. And you want to create a life that you're in love with. So, what you'll learn today are the 5 mistakes that you're making that are actually blocking you from creating the freedom and the lifestyle that you desire. And I'm going to tell you how to fix them. And so my 5-step process for creating the freedom that you desire while living your purpose and becoming truly fulfilled in all areas is a simple system to help you stop procrastinating, stop doubting yourself, and eliminating the self-sabotaging patterns, eliminating the fear, and changing that mindset when it comes to building emotional resilience for good. So I will show you how to do all of this without spending years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure it all out like I did, and without compromising your integrity, making you do things that don't resonate with you, and spending months talking about your past and not working on how to move forward. Does this sound like you? You know you're here for a greater purpose, but you feel anxious and paralyzed by self-doubt, worrying about how to make it happen, or you know how to make it happen, but you can't do it on your own. You always go back to your patterns. You desperately want to transform and change your life, but you don't know how, or there's something that's not working. You look around and see all these other people's lives and wonder what's wrong with you. Why can't you have that as well? You want so badly to be regulated for your loved ones, but you feel guilty every time that you snap and get triggered. You may feel like a slave to other people's demands, other people's needs. You have this inner self-talk that's very toxic and castrating and makes you feel guilty and terrible every time that you go through adversity. You feel overwhelmed with little things. You're always fight or flight or freeze, and you can't seem to have the clarity in what to do, and you end up going back to your old habits after trying to change them. You don't enjoy your present and the life that you're living and you feel like everything happens to you and life never gives you a break. You feel like no matter what, you can't seem to come off the roller coaster of life and you resist your past. You want people to you want people to make amends. You are anxious about the future. You're always stressed out because you don't know what's coming and it's driving you crazy. So I have good news. It's time that we change that today. So the real problem is that you haven't implemented the 5 steps to feel free and fulfilled. So once you implement these 5 steps, you'll finally know exactly what to do to go after your dreams, feel empowered, and have a clear plan and strategy for what to do and how to get there with confidence and ease. You'll walk away with a proven system to bring forth your goals so that you can become the person that you're meant to be once and for all. You'll feel free and loving towards yourself with the sense that you're exactly what you're meant to be on your journey and excited for what's to come. And there will be nothing holding you back or standing in your way, and you'll feel completely supported, turning your journey into a life of abundance, emotional freedom, and fulfillment. You'll no longer harm yourself and others when life's waves come at you. You'll feel totally confident to surf them waves and not let your emotions or adversity dictate your life and your moods. You know, when something happens and then your mood shifts for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month. You'll have the physical, emotional, mindset, and spiritual health that you've always wanted so that you can stop living in constant stress and anxiety and feel like your highest self and enjoy the present. You'll realize your worth. You'll have everything that you need to be happy and have inner peace. You'll feel authentically and unapologetically you, like you once did when you were a child. You'll have the number one skill to live the life that you that you dreamed in your own terms, get the abundance that you desire, and there's absolutely no limits to what you can achieve. Your emotional regulation is your cure. So a little bit about my story. I grew successful methods by offering my emotional freedom coaching programs and helping men and women break free and create the life they love since 2020. I have dozens of transformed clients with breakthroughs and aha moments who are now happy and thriving instead of surviving, which, by the way, is the name of my podcast. I run a wellness podcast every week where I interview experts in different coaching fields. And so I keep learning and growing constantly to provide the best quality of one-on-one group and private coaching to my clients. I have coached hundreds of privately and group coachings and have thousands of hours of coaching experience. People would recover, heal, and break free and find new purposes and clarity and create lives they fall in love with, which creates also a deep bond between us forever. It's been so successful that I was able to transition from 9 to 5 job in film with a very toxic boss to a full-time entrepreneurship with my coaching business solely. I launched the Emotional Freedom Program, and I have ran multiple webinars online and in person. And so, like my client Maria, she thought that everyone else was the problem. She used to blame people. She wasn't confident in making decisions. She was the biggest procrastinator based out of fear. And so after the Emotional Freedom Program, now she analyzes the situation, she stops, she's more conscious about her patterns, and so she's able to filter and identify why she's getting triggered and why is she getting these emotions. So not only she picks her battles better, but now she's confident in her decisions. She controls her emotions better. And now she just, instead of reacting, she acts in on her emotions. Like she just like analyzes, she stops to think and then reacts. And then my other client, Chris, he had a broken marriage. He was afraid of voicing his needs, and he would think that he would get in trouble. So he kept sabotaging himself by binge eating, by getting in this huge debt with retail therapy. And so basically, after the program, now he learned the skills to communicate better. He learned the skills to take care of himself, to get better habits. And now they build a new marriage, a better marriage. And now he is happy and fulfilled and doesn't feel like he's worthless anymore. Then Natalia. Wow, Natalia was an amazing story. She has three kids, and two of her kids are autistic. So her life was constant screaming, yelling, and tantrums every day. And she just didn't have the drive to even live anymore. She didn't know what she liked. She didn't know what her personality was. She was lost into her children's needs, and so she, after the program, she learned to take care of herself first so that she would be better for her family. So now she doesn't add up to it. She doesn't contribute to the provocations and the screaming. And now nobody screams in her house, which is crazy. That's how big it is. And it only takes one person to do the work so that the whole household is healed. The other thing that she was able to do was do this lifestyle of healthy habits, and she lost a bunch of weight, which is not the actual goal, but it is a secondary effect to, investing in yourself and doing the work and taking care of yourself better, which, it always transcribes into health. Um, so that was her story. Then we have Jess. So Jessica was in a very toxic, unhealthy work environment, and she was basically punishing herself. She was not doing what she loved anymore. She was thinking that she was the issue. And basically, after the Emotional Freedom Program, she understood that her boss's um, toxic behaviors was not equal to her self-worth. And she learned to switch it around and see what she was learning and see the positive of her work while she looked for a new job. And it was life-changing, and she didn't look for another job out of scarcity. So she had the best job afterwards. And she learned so much from that place, and she tapped into her gratitude and the positive things out of a bad situation. So here's my official bio. I have been a certified conscious coach, life coach for 5 years. I am a certified nonviolent communication coach. I am an emotional regulation expert. I have a bachelor's degrees in film from Paris. I did college in Paris. I am an instructor and main coach for the CBC Conscious Business Coach, where I got my certification from. I am an active life coach and consultant for emotional freedom private and group programs. I did Evolving, which is a health coaching program where you learn the anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Basically, it's like a diet for mental health as well. I am a meditation and breathwork expert, and I am a wellness retreat event host. So I used to live in New York. I hated my life. I hit rock bottom. I basically had suicidal thoughts at one point during COVID because I had the worst boss that would call me yelling 24/7, blaming and guilt tripping everyone. I didn't have many friends. I didn't have family there, and I hated the weather basically and the quality of life. You would not get much for, the money that your salary basically. So when I was getting certified to be a coach, I decided to move to the city of my dreams, tropical Fort Lauderdale. I'm from Venezuela, so it was the closest I could get to my roots, and my life changed. This is not saying that if you move, it's going to change your life, because if you're unhappy and you're not healed, wherever you move, you're going to be unhappy and unhealed, and you're going to see all the negatives of that place. But when you do the work, then you have clarity into what are the things that you can change and that you have control of over. So now I have an amazing self-care routine. I go to the gym every day. I go on bike rides outdoors. I paddleboard. I have amazing friends. I have a great community. I do jujitsu. I have a partner that loves me, and we build, grow, and repair together so that we don't project our traumas into each other. I have a very creative life where we paint, we build things, we do pottery, and that really fulfills me. Those are hobbies that I also found after my transformation. I have lots of family here as well. That's very important for me. I truly love that life that I created for myself. That was the life that I dreamed of for so many years, and it keeps getting better and better. The more you work on yourself and you do the work, the better it gets. It's crazy. I started my healing journey being in that toxic work environment that I was talking about. I basically, that was my pattern. That was my normal. I grew up in a household where fighting was the love language. I had somebody in my house that would abuse me physically and emotionally for 20 years. I even had surgery. He broke my knee. Um, so that was my normal. And I also overcame a few sexual abuses. And, I was broke. I was an immigrant twice in Paris and in America 8 years ago. I had no money after being at the top of the ladder in Venezuela, being a manager of an ad agency, and I had to move and start from scratch and be a babysitter, a waitress, etc., without papers. And now I'm a homeowner. I am a business owner. I have the life of my dreams. So if I can do it, so can you, which doesn't mean that my process is going to be exactly the same as yours. Why emotional regulation? So it's not about being perfect and not feeling your emotions, because that's the other extreme, right? You don't want to avoid feeling. It's about knowing yourself better so you can choose an appropriate reaction after that automatic reaction that you get. So, analyzing, okay, why am I feeling this way, and how can I show up better and act better? So this is where you should take notes, get a paper and pen, and write down, why are you here? What's your big goal and dream lifestyle, that you want to create? And then you can bring this to the one-on-one call together afterwards. So my philosophy is basically that inner transformation creates external results. So when you work on yourself and your inner self, and you heal all your traumas and all these patterns, then that's going to transcribe to external results. So basically, for me, it was PCOS and insulin resistance and inflammation, overweight. So all of those things, when I learned what I was doing and how to take care of myself, then I was able to choose better and get external results, be healthy and happy. Alignment first and then strategy. So first, we realize what your purpose is, what your goals are, what your values are. And once we have that specifically for you, then we can build a strategy together that works uniquely for you. I do everything out of love. So yes, it's hard, and no, you're not going to be perfect at it every day. But once you switch that and you stop, criticizing, judging yourself, others, and assuming that everything is coming from a bad place, then there's a weight that lifts off your shoulders and you don't expect anything, and it's beautiful. Integrity above all. So when you're not doing what you're saying that you are, and you're not coherent with your actions, it just doesn't work for your confidence and for your self-worth. So for me, I walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So I will teach you tools that I implement in myself and that I do for myself. We're all a working progress, a constant work in progress. But if you're teaching things that you don't do yourself, then that's also not aligned. By healing yourself and showing up better, you heal the next generations and you create a better world. Like we were saying before, these clients that did the work and they improved their marriages. So as long as there's one person that does this, it's just insane how it reaches everyone around them. So it's your duty and your obligation to pursue your dreams so that you can become the highest version of yourself. So what we're going to train on today is the 5 mistakes that you're making and how to quickly shift out of them, the 5 steps to be free and fulfilled, and emotional freedom and how it can help you. So the 5 mistakes that you're making trying to improve your life and the shifts that you need to make to fix them are: shift number 1, you think that you need to go to therapy for years to heal and to do the work so that you show up in healthier ways and reach your goals. But in reality, results don't take time, they take courage. This was said by Alex Moscow. So what this means is that you don't need years and years and years of analyzing your patterns. What you need is courage to face them, to admit what you're doing, why you're doing it, understanding it, and then showing up differently. But that takes courage and consistency and commitment and aligned action. If you don't do any of this and you just go and talk to a therapist for years, but don't actually take responsibility and assume and admit what you're doing, then it's probably going to take years and years. Shift number 2, you can think that you're doomed forever and you can't change because it's too ingrained in your system. But in reality, everyone can change. Anyone can do anything they set their minds to at any point in their lives. It takes a different kind of courage to actually take responsibility and do the work, as opposed to staying in your comfort zone and repeating the same thing over and over and hurting yourself and others. The shift number 3, you're making decisions out of scarcity and you end up in terrible situations, in toxic work environments, and with horrible relationships. What does this mean? It means that when we're lacking of something, say you need a job because you need money. So you're in scarcity mindset and you are desperate to get a job, to make money. And so in this case, you are going to take the first thing that comes because you just need it so badly. And that's usually not the best thing for you, right? So when you come from abundance instead of scarcity, you can choose better and you can choose what works for you. For me, I always chose the toxic boyfriend, the toxic boss, the toxic work environment, the toxic friends, because that was my normal. So then realizing that and switching that mindset to abundance. No, I am worthy of the best. So I'm going to choose the best for me. So that would be shift number 3. Shift number 4, people accuse you of being angry all the time and you think it's not you, and you're easily triggered and you think that everyone else has an issue and it's everyone else that's causing it. But in reality, your nervous system is just not regulated. So you're always fight or flight. And so you can take responsibility for everything. There's shared responsibility in everything that happens. So when you do that, you realize that by working on your nervous system, you can get clarity and understand your triggers and then work on them. So triggers are gems. It's basically a cue that tells you where you need to work on. Somebody said you're too upset all the time and that triggers you. So that could mean that there's something that you haven't worked on that makes you upset. And once you work on it, you don't get triggered anymore because you know your worth, you know your confidence, you know who you are. So whatever other people say or do has absolutely no consequence in your mood or in your response. So shift number 5, you don't have a powerful support system of accountability, guidance to help you become the next greatest version of yourself. You need to be in a powerful coaching container with somebody that's actually invested in your growth. So a supportive community where you can practice, develop new skills, and be challenged where you have a blind spot. And that person would be me. I would join you. I would make you accountable for everything that we said. I would troubleshoot with you what things are working, what came up that wasn't supposed to come up, and give you all the tools that you need to make this a lifestyle and not go back to your old patterns, basically making it sustainable. So what are the steps to be free and fulfilled and regain control over your emotions and your life? The first one is healing your past, finding all of the blockages, becoming aware of your patterns, and that way, you can realize what you're doing and improve those and change those. The second one are the mindset activations. So you will rewrite and redesign your inner self-talk, all those limiting beliefs and narratives that you're telling yourself. Oh yeah, it's because it's bad to be ambitious, or I don't deserve it because I did this or that. All those things we can rewrite and redesign, and it will break you free. 3, mastering hard emotions. So, when life is never always happy and then that's it. No, it's always up and down. And so it's mastering the downs. So how are you gonna not be fight or flight or freeze when you have a hard situation? What are those anchors that we're going to have for you to be present and understand and show up differently? And then 4, learning healthy habits and implementing them as a lifestyle, not as a diet that you're going to do today and then tomorrow you're going to go back to your habits and then you're going to be the past version of yourself again. And this is different for everyone. And then manifest and plan the life that you desire after we have regulated your nervous system, after we have a strategy that works for you, then we go into doing the work for the life that you want. I work with my clients to create a plan that is authentic to you and unique only to you. So once we have that aligned strategy, we go deeper into the how we're going to get there. So that's it. If you liked what you heard today and you want to break free from your emotional prison without years of therapy analyzing the past, instead of making a plan that's unique to you and that will work right away, today, right now, you want to gain skills and habits to become empowered and transform and find that inner peace as we build the future that you always wanted, then I invite you to continue the journey with me. Nobody's coming to save you. Inner peace is available. You just need to do the work and I will guide you. So if you haven't booked your clarity call with me, you can do so right now under this video. And I am so excited. I can't wait to meet you and to start strategizing with you. Thank you.